This is session 1. Okay, so before going to the concept of GitHub, first we should understand what is version controlling. Okay, how a development team works with that concept. Okay, and what are their work daily that they are going to do. Okay, so generally a task will be allocated to a developer by a business analyst. Okay, there is a person called BA. He will assign a task to a developer, okay, by following some agile methodology and some Jira softwares. Once a task is assigned to them, okay, they have to go through the task and understand the work and write the code. Okay, so once coding is completed, that code should be stored somewhere. Okay, that is actually called code repository. The first point, code repository. Okay, so repository means simple word, remember, it's a memory, a storage area. Okay, so where all developers code is stored. Okay, that is actually code repository. Okay, so let us go with the initial step by step here, how the process will be. Okay, so first there is a business analyst, is actually called BA, business analyst. Okay, he is the one who will actually write all our project requirements. Okay, for example, you take one application that is like something like Amazon. Okay, Amazon shopping application is there. You are using that application. Someone developed that application. Okay, so before that, someone wrote how that application should look like. Okay, there should be some register page, there should be some login page, there should be some cart, like someone designed, he wrote some content. So that complete documentation, that is actually called epic project document, PR project requirement. Okay, SC software requirement will be having multiple names. The standard word is actually epic. Okay, simply we actually call as project document. Okay, so once he create the project document, that document will be converted into individual tasks. Okay, or individual works. We can also call it issues. Okay, so that's actually called story. Okay, let us take a story. User registration is a story. User login is a story. Okay, adding item to a cart is a story. Everything is a story. Now, once the BA prepare the stories and all, okay, they are going to allocate the work to a developer. Okay, so is a developer. Okay, so developer gets some work to be implemented, that is need to be implemented. Okay, once developer gets the work, he is actually going to analyze the work. Okay, what is the work given, how we need to implement, how much time it will take, everything they will decide in a meeting, that is actually called sprint meeting. Okay, once that is decided, what they are going to do, they will implement that work by writing some code. Okay, so if it is a backend developer, they may write Java code, they may write PHP code, Python code. Okay, front-end developer, HTML code, Angular, React.js. So finally, they are writing some code. Whatever the language, it doesn't matter for us. Okay, so as of now, you can take Java. Okay, or else you can take something like a Python or Angular, React.js, any type of some code. Okay, once they write the code, they are actually going to do very next step is test in the local environment. Okay, that is also called unit testing. Okay, so this coding is done and testing is done. Okay, now I'm just asking a simple question. There is a very big building that exists, 20 floors exist. Do you think one person will construct that entire building? No, that's impossible. Okay, if you wants to construct that will say, take some years. Okay, so then the group of people involved, right? In the same way, here it's not one developer. There will be multiple developers who actually involves in writing the application. Okay, so these people, what they are going to do, they'll write some piece of course. One person will write some user related work. One person will write cart related work. Okay, there is another developer. What that developer will do is actually going to do billing related coding. So the code is actually written by multiple developers. The point you need to understand. Okay, code and test. Okay, developer one is actually doing, developer two, developer three, developer four, like multiple developers. Okay, so but finally it is a one application. You have to understand, though there are multiple developers, the code is actually, okay, that is implemented by multiple developers. Finally it is a one application. Okay, so first thing, we have to store all our code in one common place and a secured place. Okay, so all these developers, what they are going to do, they actually store their code in a common or a secured place. Okay, that is actually called repository, a storage area. Everyone will store there. Okay, so that is actually code repository. So hope you got the point. First point, what is code repository? Okay, so here code repository means where all the developers store their code. Okay, so here second thing, okay, so I actually wrote the code and I have stored here. Second, even I want to take another developer code into my machine so that I can test remaining part. I will be finding some other things. So assumption, okay, there is a developer A, developer B, developer C, and developer D. Like multiple developers are there. Okay, A wrote code and kept in a repository, and B also wrote C and D. Now A wants to get the B code, so he can get it from here. Okay, because B is pushed here actually. Okay, now B can take the A and C and D. Okay, so remaining all developers code here. Okay, this is a basic point why code repository is required. The first one. Okay, code repository is required here. So here you should understand, okay, our system is actually connecting to another system. See, it is also a type of computer where it's actually providing all the storage. Okay, a server, we can also call it here a repository server. Okay, so this is, we are actually calling as a code repository. This is a code repository. Okay, now what is that code repository software? Okay, so the software name is actually, code repository name is actually called GitHub. Okay, sir, is there only GitHub available? No. So there is a bike. If you want to go from one place to another place, bike. Okay, so there are multiple vendors, multiple people who actually, okay, providing the bikes. For example, Hero bike is there. Okay, so like, yeah, so there is actually Royal Enfield bike is available. Like multiple vendors are providing, okay, multiple types of bikes here. In the same way, not only GitHub, even GitLab, okay, Bitbucket, even lot. Okay, so there are a lot, so many. Okay, but your system, see, this is developer one computer, developer two computer, developer three, developer four, Okay, this system should connect with the code repository, okay, in a secured way, and it should be able to take the code. Okay, it's nothing here, only storing the code and retrieving the code. And what are the next stages also we see. Okay, so this system has to connect with this repository and take it. For that, this system developer machine, okay, developer computer should contain one software. That software is actually called Git Bash, or we can also call it Git CLI, command line interface. Okay, what is the software name here? Exactly. Okay, so in the local machine, you should install a software called Git Bash. Okay, that will connect with the code repository. Okay, these are the examples. Okay, so today we see GitHub. Of course, I will show GitLab even, nothing difference. Okay, so here we can connect in two different ways. Okay, one, you can use Git Bash, we can type commands. Okay, so in real time also, will they type comments? Answer is yes, some companies will use. No, some companies will use some softwares like Git towers, ID integrated, like left click, right click, double click, they'll do. Okay, lot of companies who has more than 10 years experience also, some people might not be knowing Git commands. Don't think that. Okay, everyone should, but process they will be knowing. Okay, some people once they reach a particular stage, they'll forget the basic commands. Okay, but they know entire process. If they find any problem, they'll fix. Okay, you can do ID. Okay, are UI based or command based. Okay, I always recommend you to learn first commands. Okay, and you need not to by heart all the commands. There is a single PDF exist that will be helpful. Okay, so this is the first point of code repository. Okay, let us see somewhat additional things inside a single developer and a code repository. What is the process? Okay, so hope you are clear up to this one, everyone. Just type yes if you got the point, everyone. Okay, so this is a developer machine. Okay, and this is code repository. Okay, so I am simply calling as a GitHub. Okay, or we can also call it remote location even. Okay, so this is GitHub or any code repository. This is a developer machine. Simply developer laptop. Okay, first we are going to use some softwares to write the code that will be stored in our computer, something in the D drive or root folders. I am writing some Java code, saving with .java. Okay, writing some UI code, saving with .html, .css, and all here. Okay, that is actually called workspace. All our files initially exist here. Okay, that is actually called workspace. Okay, so here workspace, a folder where code files are stored in a local machine or developer machine. Okay, so whatever the project you create, yeah, these notes also I'd share. Okay, so that's actually workspace. Whatever the files that you write, okay, for to create a project, all those are initially stored there. Okay, now I want to write all these code files, okay, but I want to store in the GitHub. Okay, in the GitHub, what you have to do, you have to create a repository. Okay, that is nothing but something like another folder where exactly I was storing our project here. For one project, we have to create one repository. Okay, so this is a repository created here. That repository created with some settings. Okay, so assumption, I am writing a project, okay, something like Amazon. So Amazon repository will be created. Okay, and Amazon workspace exists in my local. Okay, this is a repository for project one, P1. Okay, a repository is created in the GitHub. Okay, so this repository is also called as a remote repository. Okay, so which is available to all the developers in the team. Okay, so this dev machine you can observe, and GitHub contains a repository. Okay, so to store one project files that is actually created. Now, whatever the files are available in my workspace, okay, that I just want to store in the repository, and I should able to take others files also here. Okay, so first what we have to do, we have to create a local repository also. Okay, there will be no direct connection exist, okay, with the dev machine and GitHub. Okay, so that should be connected with local repository. Okay, we can also call it .git, or we can also call local repository, local repo. Okay, so this local repository and remote repository will be connected. Okay, and next thing in the middle, before sending your files to workspace to local repository, okay, first you have to see, okay, you wrote 10 files, but you don't want to send 10 files. You have to select 5 files initially or 6 files. You want to send it initially. Okay, and why you are sending these files, you have to give some message, commit message, that is called. Okay, so selecting some files, verify that, okay, do you want to send those files or not? Okay, then you have to send it to local repository. In the middle, some verifications section will be there. That is actually called stage. Okay, staging we can also call it here. Stage and unstage options will be there. Okay, so this is a stage section. Okay, observe. So look at the different levels. The first one is actually workspace. Okay, here we have remote repository, okay, which is shared for every developer, a storage location, and for every developer there will be local repository. Okay, so now just listen my question and give answer. Okay, in my company there is one project. Okay, there is one project and 6 developers. Okay, how many remote repositories are created for this project? Only one. Okay, so how many local repositories exist? Exactly. Okay, that's actually number of developers you can see here. Okay, now first thing, local repository exists for every developer. Okay, exists for every developer and even for project. Okay, that's given with the name .git. Mostly you'll see the hidden format. If you want to see the .git also I'll show, but you don't touch that directly. Operate always with comments. Okay, and next one, remote repository. Okay, shared for a team, for a project. Okay, and next we'll be having stage area, verify files. First, we are going to select some files, then verify. Okay, we'll give some comment or some message, whatever you call here. In the real time, every work will be given with some number that is actually called ticket. What is that called? Ticket. Very good. Okay, ticket. Okay. For example, in my company, okay, we are working for an insurance project. Okay, so that is actually real term new RT. RT 8760, that is called ID, ticket ID. We are using some Jira software. If we type that number, we are going to see that. Okay, the ticket ID RT8760. Okay, that's actually user email sending failed, like that we'll be having. Okay, that is actually a ticket raised by QA team. They'll be giving something number like this. Okay, if we just go and type that, you will get all the details. Okay, so here at the time of sending the code, why you are sending, why you are writing that code. Okay, so you have to say that in the message, hey, I am sending this code for this ticket. This is a standard. Okay, this standard everyone has to follow. Okay, so some people they'll just write a simple commit message. That's okay, but how a normal developer, okay, a normal person and real-time developer will be differentiated is such kind of small things only. When you're writing a message also, there is a standard. Okay, mention some ticket ID and some message why you are sending here. Stage area, that commit message should be mentioned in this example format. Okay, so in this example format, we have to mention. Okay, now let me show some commands one by one. Okay, first we go to workspace, we write some code. Okay, we write some code. Our code is working fine and tested assumption. Now that code should be moved to remote repository. Our target is what? Remote repository. Okay, but directly I can't send. Okay, first that file will be sent to stage area, staging. Okay, then I'll mention one message. I'll select some files and I'll mention some message. From there, the files will be sent to local repository. Okay, and continuously you can send stage and local, stage and local, stage and local. Okay, how many files you want to do? And of course, if you don't want, you can remove from those also. There is a reward canceling. Okay, and finally, what you want to do from the local, you want to send it to remote repository, sending our code files, nothing else. Okay, and I want to get other developers files. Okay, so here from the remote repository, you can get the files. Okay, and from there, local repository, okay, what you have to do, you want to update your files to workspace. Their stage will not be involved, but in case of conflicts, it may show. Okay, so these are the steps. Step number one, sending a file from workspace to stage area. What is the first step? Workspace to stage area. You can give reply even. Okay. Second, staging to local repository. Third, local repository to remote repository. Fourth, remote repository to fifth, local repository to workspace. No staging involved. Okay, so these are initial 5 important steps. Not only this, we have so many concepts like branching. Okay, so even commit message handling, logging, okay, security token, lot of concepts are there, but initial minimum points. Okay, so the first command I'm just giving, that is actually called add. What is the command? Add. Okay, I think now you have to say why add. Can you say why add command is used? Adding files from workspace to stage area. Okay, that is also called indexing. You can also call it here. Okay, next is actually commit. Okay, that commit will send files from stage area to local repository. And the next operation is actually called push. Okay, local repository to remote repository. And the next operation is actually called pull. Remote repository to local repository. Okay. And here we have an operation called fetch. Generally, full will get the files. Okay. Or fetch upstream, there is another concept you can do. Okay. Why we do generally fetch and some rebase concepts will be there. Okay. There will be some conflicts. I'll explain what is that conflicts, what is versioning, okay, what is version controlling, we'll see. Okay, hope you are clear with these 5 commands basic purpose. Okay, what is the first command? Add. Second command, commit. Next one, next one, next one, fetch or rebase. Generally, pull will update the files. Okay, some cases. Okay, some cases here. Okay, now if already existed GitHub repositories there. Okay, someone already wrote here. Okay, I am a very fresh developer, new developer. Today I joined to the IT organization, but already for last 8 months they are doing some coding. Okay, in that case, first what I have to do? First, that remote repository, I have to take a copy and create the local repository. Are you taking Xerox copy? Yes. Okay, that is called cloning. What is that called? Okay, very first time today I joined to an organization. Okay, so then my laptop should create the local repository, not a new one. Not a new one. Already existed one should be taken and first create in my local. Okay, then I should continue. Are you clear? Okay. No, I am the developer. Very first time creating the local repository, remote repository, that is called init. Okay. So first either init or clone will be done. But mostly if you join to companies, you will do clone only. You will never do init. Init is done almost some years back or months back by some developers here. Okay. So now I am not writing all the notes points here. I'm just showing where you can find these notes also in the internet. Okay, that is actually called Git cheat sheet. Okay, you can download Atlassian or some education GitHub. Okay, or even multiple places are there here. Okay, so these are the Git cheat sheets. I'll share to you. Just one second. Okay, you can see all the commands. Okay, every command starts with the word git. Git init, git clone, git config, git add, git commit. You can see. Okay, so almost all the commands I'll show, but not in a single session. Okay, this is just an introduction session one only. Almost here, some steps, initial steps I'm going to show what to do here. Okay, so let me show some points. Okay, I want to create a new local repository, not remote repository. What we create? Okay, that is actually called git init. Okay, to create a local repository. Who are attending from online? Okay, if we have any questions, at last I'll give some time. Okay, yeah, I'll share git cheat sheet also. Okay, I'll explain the commands even, and I'll give some tasks to be need to be implemented also. Okay, so as it is a combination offline and online session, so you please cooperate. At last I'll give some time. You can ask all your questions. New batch updates also will be provided. Okay, I know that you are waiting for Spring Boot and project batches also. All the details will be given. Please, okay, have some patience and let me finish this one. Okay, so first, if you want to create a local repository, okay, a new empty local repository. Okay, so git init. Next, I have some D drive folders. There I have some HTML, Java code, and all my code files. I want to send to stage area. Okay, then that is actually called git add. Okay, so this also called indexing and adding files or selecting files, whatever you call here. Indexing, okay, or sending to, okay, staging area, whatever you call here. And you can use git remove if you don't want. Okay, first we'll go in a positive flow. Okay, so then git commit is some message we are going to do here. Okay, send files to local repository, not remove, local repository. Okay, then we are going to do here git push. Okay, send files to, okay, remote, okay, local to remote, exactly, local repository to remote repository. Okay, that we are action. But remote repository will get in a two flavors. One is private and second one is public. Okay, so private repositories and public repositories means what? Okay, companies will create private repository. If I create a private repository, I can see, and if I add you as a collaborator, means a visitor or a programmer, then you can see. Everyone cannot see without credentials and permissions. Companies will create a private repository. Okay, for practice purpose we can create public repository. Of course you can also create a private repository, not an issue. Okay, so but there will be some limitations. If you want more, you have to pay money for that. Okay, so first, okay, I want to do all these things here. Look at first what we have to do. Okay, I mentioned some software names, you remember? Okay, that is actually called git bash. Okay, this actually software we need to download and install in the local machine. This actually called commands that supports commands. Okay, all these commands we can execute. Okay, so that we are going to communicate with a remote repository and local machine also. All the commands will be executed here. I have already downloaded and installed. Okay, you can see git bash download. Okay, this is SCM, source controlling management, you can also call it here. Okay, so here you can download OS based Windows, Linux, you can see. Okay, if you click on that, okay, it will just download. Okay, and just click on next, next, and finish. A simple process only. Okay, don't change anything here. And finally, once you download and install, you can verify is that working or not here by typing git. Okay, otherwise it will show it's not recognized as an internal or external commands. You can see here git or git hyphen we also, you can just see like this. Okay, so now let us start. Okay, so I am just going to D drive, creating a project. Okay, that's actually insurance article something example. Okay, so this is actually, this will be done by a developer by using some tools, IntelliJ IDEA, Eclipse, or some different tools will be used. I'm not doing all those things here. That is also will be shown, but first concentrate on basic commands. There I'm writing some simple Java code. Okay, so here there is actually app.java. Okay, so this is stored with extension .txt. Okay, just I'm writing class app. Don't worry about this code and all. You need not learn all this. Just I'm showing. I wrote some folder. Okay, I create some folder and there I wrote some file that's called workspaces. Okay, then what I'm going to do, I just want to create a local repository initially. Are you getting the point? Okay, so then first I'm switching to that location, D drive, insurance RT. So D colon enter, CD, that is actually insurance RT. Okay, the first command I'm just typing git init. What is the command name? What it will do? Yeah, it will create an empty local repository. Okay, git init here. Okay, so here git init, I'm just typing, press enter. Initialized empty git repository. You can see that. Okay, that's actually git init. Okay, let me open this. Okay, so we are unable to see any folder and file here. So that will be in a hidden format. Don't touch that. Okay, don't delete that even. You can see. Okay, please don't touch that one. Okay, so let it be. Okay, now, so here I just want to see what are the files in workspace. It is also called unstaged, we can also call, and what are the files are in staging area. I just want to see. Okay, then we can use a command called git status. What's the command name? So here this is actually called untracked files. Means that means still I don't know what is the file, this one. Okay, I don't have in my local repository this actually, and it is giving you some suggestion also. What is the suggestion it is showing here? Git add. Okay, that include will be committed here. Okay, it is saying here this is not tracked, means I don't know what is this file yet. Okay, do you, Git is asking, do you want me to store with me here? Okay, so first add that file. Okay, if you have multiple files, yes, you can add. You can add using two ways. Git add dot, all the files are individual file name. Okay, I gave comma, that's dot action, that's my mistake, sorry. Okay, so here, so I'm just using git add. Okay, so here this app.java are simply all the files means dot. Mostly individual files will be selected by some people, or all the files will be selected, and press enter. Okay, let me type again command git status. Okay, so one new file is added to this one. If you can remove this also, git rm. Okay, I don't want to remove, let it be. Okay, if you want to do unstage, no, you don't want to be in a staging, you want to remove from there, no, let it be. I don't want to remove. Okay, now from there, what I want to do, I want to send it to local repository. Okay, so the command here is commit. Okay, git commit hyphen m, message you need to give. Okay, just a dummy message I'm just giving. Okay, so here rt some message. Okay, first setup file, like this I'm just writing. Okay, and pressing enter. Okay, it is saying authorize your identity unknown. Here it is saying, here it is asking us to provide some details. Very first time it will ask. Okay, so this is the details that you need to set here. Okay, so no, it's not a username. Okay, it's not any account details, local information that you need to provide. Okay, so this is your email id and your name. Okay, so I'm just giving, this is like this, some details I'm just giving here. Okay, you have to mention who are you. Okay, I'm just writing my email id. Okay, I'm just mentioning my display. Okay, for very first time it will ask. Okay, because this is entire new laptop, so that's why we did not configure anything so far. It is asking. Okay, so again I'm just typing same git commit. Okay, Okay, so you can see whenever you commit, see it is showing here. Okay, so master is showing here. First set of file, one file changed, insertion. Okay, actually it should be okay. Main branch. Okay, let this be temporarily. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So here, this I mentioned. Of course, we create a new project one more time, not an issue here. This is a commit, but it's not over. I want to connect with a remote repository and I want to do it also here. Okay. So now what we are going to do, we have to register one account with a GitHub. So here you can just go to github.com. Okay. So there you need to do registration. You can see there is a sign up button. I'm just clicking on that. Okay. Generally, companies will create the GitHub accounts and they will do all the setup. They will add your email. Even company will create your own email account. IT organizations will, you are never going to do all this setup. But to do practice in your local machines, you have to do. Okay, enter your email ID. Don't use your personal email IDs. Okay, create one more and you can practice. That's better always. Password. This is my email ID. This is a password I'm giving. So giving the password, enter a username. I just want to say take same username. Okay. I don't want to receive any updates. Just type no. Continue. It will ask one puzzle. Start puzzle. Okay. Pick the spiral galaxy. First one. One more time it will ask. Third one. Okay. Create account. Okay. So enter the code that is actually sent to your email ID. Okay. So here it will ask some details just to me, teacher or student, you can select some details, continue button. Okay. So here you can choose free account. Okay. Or some benefits also you can choose here. Continue for free. Okay. Finally it is created. Okay. So this is a GitHub account created. You can see. Okay. Now we have to create a repository. There you can see plus symbol. Okay. Create a new repository. I'm just giving repository name here. Okay. My app one. It's not there. Actually, we'll create it. Okay. You can give some description, public or private. You can choose. Okay. So I'm just creating a repository. Nothing. I'm just choosing. Just give repository name. Okay. So it's a public. Okay. Create repository. So an empty repository created here, and they are mentioning some commands to be executed. So they are saying, okay, do first create one folder, okay, and do git init, add some files if you want, git commit, git branch. Okay, you can, they're showing some commands to be executed here. Okay, so this is created. Okay, let me show the process again from beginning just for clarity. Okay, so let us come back. So instead of insurance, I'm just creating the same project. Of course, the project name can be different. So my app one, I'm creating a folder. Okay, there I just kept a simple file, sample.txt. Yes, it's a notepad. Hello data. Actually, we have tried some code files. Let this be fine. Okay. So I'm just coming to this location. Okay. Now look at the commands, what they're actually recommending here. Okay. First, they're asking us to create one empty repository, git init. Okay. So initialize an empty repository inside this. Okay. So they're asking us to add a readme file, but it's not readme.md. I created a file name called sample.txt. Okay. So it's a git status you can see. Okay. It is showing one untracked file. Okay. Git add dot you can use. Okay. Or specific file name. Okay. Then we have to mention why you are sending with a message, and you have to commit to local repository. Git commit. Okay, so here, so it is actually, I'm just updating to branch main. Okay, so that branching concept I'll show later. Okay, temporary, let this be. Okay, git branch main. Okay, now what I have to do, one time I should link, see where is this remote repository is available, that link we have to give it to local repository, link remote and local repository. Okay, so that will be added with git remote add. Git remote add, that will link only one time you need to do, no need to do again and again. Git remote. Okay, this is a location origin, the location is this is a GitHub, this is a username, this is a project name dot git. Okay, so this one, it's a git remote. Okay, so add only one. Okay, and next I am going to do push. Okay, with some additional details, this origin main, this are actually branches. Okay, we'll see what are the branches in the next session. Temporarily I'm just doing this git push. Okay, and it will ask you to log in for very first time. Okay, so sign with your browser. Okay, or sign with your token. Will be having personal access token or browser. That's your wish, you can do anything. Next session I will show token. There are some steps, we have to generate some GitHub token. Okay, so as of now, browser, sign with your browser, you can just click. Okay, it is asking actually authorization, Git credential manager, yes, authorize. Okay, so here it's done. Okay. Now come back to this GitHub online account, just refresh. Okay, there is a file you can see. I'm just clicking on my app. Okay, so first commit is there. Okay, click on this. Okay, there is no folders created, that's why it's coming like that. Okay, next I'll show you some project example, some hello data, some content has come. Okay, so I think you understood the basic process and some basic comments. Okay, so don't worry, in the next we are going to see some advanced and complicated commands also. I don't want to confuse you for very first time. Okay, so here this is one. So let me revise the points what we have discussed. Git init, git add, git status, git commit, git push. Okay, already one existed project available. Okay, it is having some code that I want to get it into my local. Okay, now observe what I'm trying to do. Let us go to GitHub back, creating a project, new repository. Okay, this is test app. Okay, scroll down, create repository. Okay, now there I'm just creating a dummy file also. Okay, app.java class app. Okay, so here directly I'm committing. Okay, now what I just want to do, this test app assumption, it is created by some other developers. I want this project into my local. Okay, then what we have to do? Clone. First time we have to do clone, and next time onwards pull. Okay, clone means taking the existed copy. Okay, so how to clone? There is an option called code, you can see. Okay, so click on the symbol, copy symbol, this is a URL. Once you copy, okay, now come to this folder somewhere, D drive or somewhere. Okay, refresh. Okay, here I just want to do clone. Okay, this is a URL. Okay, so I'm just writing it to clone, present. Okay, actually it is a public repository, that's why it is cloned directly. If it's a private, we need some settings also. Okay, cloned. Sir, can we clone all the projects? Okay, so for example, I'll show my original account. Can we clone that? Of course, you can clone that also. Let me show that even. So come back. Okay, refresh. Okay, so here this is cloning is done, but I did not import it. We have to do that. Okay, this is by default, get it into default user account, user name, dot, it should be created in this hidden format. Where did we clone? D drive my app one. Sorry, wrong location. Fine, here it is. Okay, I want to keep in C drive. Okay, fine, in a location. It is cloned here. If you open this, you will see .git app.java. It should be outside of the project here. That is called git clone. Okay, so are you clear with the basics here? Okay, okay, this is session 1 only we have conducted. Okay, I'll update the session 2 and session 3 details mostly next Saturday and next Sunday. Today, because of some other busy works, I'm unable to continue. Okay, session 2 will be conducted, okay, to continue all the commands. Just okay, what are the major commands? Branching commands, tagging commands. Okay, that is actually cherry picking. Okay, so like we'll be having different types of commands, whatever git cheat sheet having, that all we are going to see. And in the third session, we are going to discuss some frequently asked questions in GitHub for fresher level, experienced level, okay, in a higher level. Okay, so Git conflicts, okay, some version problems, okay, and the pipeline continuation to Git. Okay, what are the next tools for Git and what are the previous tools for Git? Not only Git, okay, we have some other tools to be discussed even. This is the very first one. So I have joined recently to Ashok IT. I will be continuing here offline and online sessions. Okay, for Spring Boot and microservice, we are starting on this 24th. Okay, morning 7 a.m. offline available, online also available. Okay, that will be everyday session. Okay, so morning 7 to 8:30, 1.5 hour session will be there. Okay, so that is actually for 3 months. Okay, for payment details and all, okay, other things, you please contact Ashok IT front office, or as chart details are given, right? Please click on that. Okay, so this details, all these notes, diagrams, everything will be shared to you through group only. That you should join to the group, Telegram group. There, from there it will be shared. Okay, later once you join to the classes, actually if you join to Spring Boot class and all, we give some private drive links. From there you can download. Okay, these recordings will be even provided to you. This notes also provided. This only initial session. Okay, actually we just planned for half an hour only, but because of the time constraint, I was unable to continue. Okay, we'll continue on next Saturday for sure. No doubt next Saturday 10 o'clock it will be continued. Okay, 10 to 11:30, 1.5 hour, all commands. And Sunday also 1.5 hours continuation of commands. And also we will be having some additional things like FAQs. Okay, thank you everyone for joining. Okay, so you can leave for the day. Okay, and please join to that group also, and my personal email ID if you want to send any questions also, you can note down: java by Raghu at gmail.com. No, we have no session tomorrow. Okay, and you can join to my Facebook group. Okay, the Java Tech. Okay, and please join to Ashok IT WhatsApp group. Everyone there will get the notes, note links and all here. Okay, and are you waiting for Spring Boot batch? That is, we are starting on 24th of this month, morning 7 a.m. offline and online. Okay, so and if you are waiting for project, okay, we have to discuss about one slot and all. Okay, so that will update very soon. Okay, because we have to just confirm with all the candidates and management also that we are going to be provided. Okay, so thank you everyone. Okay, continuation will be giving update in my Facebook group and friend offices. Thank you everyone.